Okay, what we're going to be doing is finding the inverse of a relation or a function. So we're going to be given a couple different ways to do this. So let's imagine that we're given a relation or a function that's just a set of points. So this is only 4 points. And for the sake of argument, let's call this f. So if this was f, then we can find the inverse of this by just switching the values for x and y. So anytime we want to find the inverse of a function or relation, we're just going to exchange the x value for the y value. So if that's true, we can do this pretty quick. Instead of 2, 3, we would end up with 3, 2. Instead of 4, negative 2, well, we'd end up with negative 2 and 4. Instead of 0, 1, we'd end up with 1, 0. And instead of negative 3, negative 4, we'd get minus 4, minus 3. So this would be the inverse of the function. And the way we write that is we go f to the minus 1, which stands for our inverse. So let's imagine we had an equation. We had a parabola like y equals 4x squared. Well, it's the same basic idea. We're going to be exchanging the x value and the y value. So instead of y equals 4x squared, we're going to take the x and put it over here, and we're going to replace that with the y. So we'd get x equals 4y squared. Well, we don't want we want to say y equals at the end, so we do have to do some solving. So the first thing we can do is let's just put both things on the other side. So let's move the 4y squared over here and the x over there. That way we have the y on the left. We can divide both sides by 4. So that's going to give us y squared equals x over 4. And when we solve this, we're going to take the square root. So we're going to get y equals the square root of x over 4, which we can simplify. Can't have a square root of 4 on the bottom. So we get y equals the square root of x over 2. Or another way to write that is y equals 1/2 of the square root of x. And since this is an inverse, that's what we're talking about. The inverse of that is 1/2 the square root of x. And there you go.